And our Amanda Dixon is standing by in a very, very special place of Primary Children's Medical Center.
For many families, watching the Primary Children's Telethon brings back memories of their children here in the hospital. And for Stuart and Spring Park, watching the Telethon brings back memories of their son, Benjamin.
Think about how tall he'd be, what he would have accomplished, what I would have been able to see him do, like drive and graduate from high school and date and a mission, marriage.
It's been 17 years since Spring and Stuart Park lost their son Benjamin, and not a day goes by he isn't thought of. While making Sunday dinner at the Park home, stories about him are often told.
And so he was in sacrament meeting and Ben goes, you know, I think I have a loose tooth. He goes, yeah.
They basically ripped it out.
To say this family dynamic would be different if Benjamin were alive would be an understatement. Benjamin was one of a kind.
If there was a tree to climb, he was in it. If there was a pile of dirt to jump on, he was jumping on it. If there was a new friend to make, he made it. He just seemed to live every minute of life to its fullest.
At the age of 10, Benjamin's life, the one he so fully enjoyed, was cut short. It all started on the night of the Pinewood Derby.
He came home one night and he says, I just have a really bad headache. It really is killing me, you know. And we just, you know, headache. And then he started showing some flu-like symptoms. And this happened like on a Thursday, and by Sunday he was pretty sick.
After a trip to the Instacare that Sunday, the Parks asked a good friend and pediatrician to examine Benjamin again.
He said, Benjamin, can you touch your head to, or touch your chin to your chest? Which is a typical question that doctors will ask. And Ben tried to touch his chin to his chest, and as soon as he made that attempt, he said, ow, it hurts.
Stuart and Spring Park rushed Benjamin to Primary Children's Medical Center, where a spinal tap confirmed spinal meningitis. 2 days later, he would lose his ability to speak.
He had to get up in the middle of the night, and I got up with him and he spoke to me. And that was the last time that he ever spoke.
For the next 8 days, Benjamin tried to fight the meningitis in a medically induced coma, but eventually he would lose that fight.
They told us that it was time to take him off, bring him out of the drug-induced coma. So they asked us if, you know, if we'd like to step out of the room, because it's not really fun to see them undoing all this stuff.
When we left the room, it literally had not been minutes before the nurse just came running down the hall to us and said, he's turning blue. You need to come in. And it's a difficult sight. That's a difficult situation to be in as a parent, to sit at your child's bedside and watch them take their final breath.
Over the years, the Park family has reflected on what happened to Benjamin. Stuart even carries a Pinewood Derby weight in his pocket as a reminder of his life. Though his death is heartbreaking, the Park family now uses the experience as a reminder to live life to its fullest. They feel Benjamin is doing the same.
He probably thought, you know, I've done this earth stuff. I'm ready to move on, you know. My family will be okay. And we are, because I think he's never left us. He has totally blessed our family.
We are here in the meditation chapel at Primary Children's Medical Center, and I'm with the Park family, and this is Spring and Stuart Park. Stuart, would you introduce me to your family?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. This is my wife, Spring. This is our oldest son, Nicholas, and his wife, Shara, who everyone knows, and their brand new little boy, Will. And this is our youngest daughter, Natalie.
Oh, thank you for introducing us to your family. Now tell us about Benjamin Spring, which is why we're here in this room, and which is the person we're thinking about this weekend.
Well, Benjamin would have been 27 this year, but back in 1994, he got spinal meningitis, and he was brought here to primaries and at age 10. And after a couple of weeks of working with him and everything, the meningitis just progressed, and he finally passed away 2.5 weeks later.
And it all started, Stuart, with a headache?
Yeah, he came home from school one day and said, "Mom, I have a headache." And that night we went to the Pinewood Derby, which was the last thing we really did with him. And it just didn't get any better. And so we finally got him into the hospital to be looked at. And they diagnosed the fact that they thought it was meningitis, then confirmed that. The meningitis progressed to encephalitis. And the encephalitis is what actually took him. He was in intensive care for about 10 days, in the hospital for about 2.5 weeks. Obviously a real difficult situation to watch your child go through something like that, and to see the ups and downs that we went through, and the hope that we were given one day, and the next day not much hope that he would make it, and to watch that whole thing progress.
Now, I mean, this is just me, Spring, but some parents would walk away from an experience like this at Primary Children's and never want to think about this hospital ever again. And yet you watch the telethon every year. Tell me about that.
We do, because I don't know if I want to say I love the experience here, but since we had to be here, we never questioned the care he was given, or we just were, as a whole family, we were treated wonderful, and we knew he was at the best place to get the right care, and we never second-guessed that.
There are families watching who might be thinking about making a donation today. Before we send it back to the phone bank, say something to those families.
I just want them to know that we're in a club that's way different from everybody else. We didn't walk away with a miracle, but this hospital is amazing, and the staff and the doctors and the care that people receive here is amazing. And I would say you need to donate and continue this wonderful work that's going on.
Thank you so much to the Park family. We send it back over to you in the phone bank.
All right, thank you very much, Amanda.